Hello. My whole TBR is still in boxes. In fact, a lot of my life is still in boxes, but particularly my TBR, I have not yet unboxed. If you guys don't know, I've just moved to a new home and I've unpacked, as you can see behind me, my red books, but my TBR is still boxed up. And I thought, well, actually, I didn't think. One of my patrons came up with this idea, I think it was Michelle, to basically, for a reading vlog, pull a book out of a box and read it. I have no control over what I'm about to read. It will be books with my TBR, so this is another tbr200 episode. I need to tell you at the start of the tbr200 episode how many books are on my TBR. I don't know. I need to figure that out. I'll put the number behind me where we're starting at. Here it is. It's going to be like 297? 296, something like that. But yeah, we're gonna read 2 or 3 books in this vlog. I'm gonna take you on with me in the week as I try and get back to some sort of work normality, but also try and get back into reading. I read 2 books in January. And also do some moving stuff, maybe. Who knows? We haven't got any set plans to do anything this week. We're basically just trying to get back to life, and Tom is away for a couple days this week actually, which will mean I have time to get reading done. Because we can't watch the X-Files. I'll tell you about the X-Files at some point. We need to discuss the X-Files. All I actually want to talk about is the X-Files. Anyways, that's a tangent. We can talk about that later in the video. I do just want to say, I got these boxes off Facebook Marketplace. Someone was like giving away a couple boxes for free. Turns out they are adult diaper boxes. adult diapers for House and Leaves. And just in case anyone noticed that and knew what it was, they're not for me. I just want to get that out in the open. No judgment, but they're not mine. These boxes weren't mine. I just got them to box stuff up in. Anyways, shall we begin? I'm gonna just blind reach into a box and we've got to pick a box at random. What box do I want to start with? There's a lot of them. Do you know what? Let's go with this one behind me, shall we? Let's bring her around. I don't think I'm gonna unbox my whole TBR in each box, but it's just gonna reach and take a box and then leave them as they are. And then I'm gonna unbox them all at some point after this video is done. I also don't know how many books we're gonna read. 2 or 3, depending on how much I get done this week. But actually, with Tom being away, there is a higher chance of me getting reading done in the evenings. So anyways, let's dive in, shall we? Okay, I'm not gonna look what's in the box, because that'll give me a clue as to what could be in here. It's really hard not to look. Can I, no, I'm gonna tilt it up for you and see. Okay. How do I even go about this? Okay, I'm just gonna do it. Okay. I've got a book. What is it? Interesting. Okay, I don't know how many of you are waiting with bated breath to hear my thoughts on this. Let me scoot a little closer. Yeah, I don't know how many of you are like waiting to hear my opinions and thoughts on this. But it's one I'm actually very intrigued to read. So this is The Lakehouse by Sarah Beth Durst. Now, if you've been around here, you'll know that The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst was one of my favourite books of last year. I think it was like number 6 in my top 10 or something. This book I've owned for a long time, before I knew who Sarah Beth Durst was, or before The Spell Shop even existed. This is like a YA horror. Sarah Beth Durst does a really wide array, I can never say that right, wide array of genres, of age categories, and so I loved her writing in The Spell Shop, but this is obviously so different. I don't really know anything about the plot, we'll find that out together. But yeah, I'm super excited to read such a different book from an author I've loved. So I think this is a good pick. Also, it's YA, I think it'll probably be quite a quick read. I think it's quite good for like my brain space right now. I think this is a really good pick. Spooky, good for the winter. I think this is a good pick. So I'm happy with this. I'm happy with our first random box pull. I will read a little bit and then let you know my thoughts. But yeah, let's dive into The Lakehouse. Hello. Before we get into reading The Lakehouse, it's the same day. But I have a few parcels to open for my birthday. It was my birthday at the end of January. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been waiting. Sorry, I should do this right at the start of the vlog. But I haven't got enough to like do a whole video on it. I asked for no books for my birthday. I'm a bit scared this might tip us over the 300 again. But listen, my Christmas and birthday are very close. I said I was never gonna go above 300 again.
But I did tell a bit of a lie there.
I don't know what we're at. Are we at like 296? If I had to guess, I think we're at 296 right now. Listen, Christmas and my birthday are very close together. That is a real disadvantage that I have. They're a month apart and I've read 2 books in January, which is far less. So really I should have read like 6 to 10 books in January if I read my normal amount, and we would not be going over 300. But alas, we have a few parcels to open, but I've waited, I can't wait any longer. Sorry to do this right at the start, but it's actually been like a week since my birthday, but I've been waiting to be doing a vlog. It's actually been, you guys have missed like 2 weeks since the end of the last vlog, because I had to do some reading that wasn't in vlogs, or vlogs you're not going to see yet. So I had to read Sword of Kaigen for my Patreon book club, and then I read a secret book for a vlog you're gonna see at the end of the year. I wonder whether you can guess what that might be. I also was very ill. Like you guys saw in that video, I was ill. I was ill for all of January. I'm now feeling like a human again. But there was like a week in there where we had no heating or hot water, and I was ill, and I was on my period where I was just, let me tell you, nothing was happening. Whereas now, like, I'm feeling better, I'm going to the gym, I'm living life, I've edited a lot of videos recently, so I'm feeling better. But we have some books to open. I do have to say, I opened by mistake when we were moving. It was like the day we were moving. Murder in Mesopotamia. I believe Emma sent me this, but Agatha Christie. It's my next Poirot. I don't know where it is. It's in one of the TBR boxes. I believe it was Emma. If I'm wrong, sue me. I think it was Emma. I'm gonna message Emma and check. That is my next Poirot to read, which I can't wait. I'm in the mood for a Poirot, I'm not gonna lie. But I do need to, listen, I've got my whole life to read all the Aggies. But we have a few parcels here, so I thought let's do a little book haul together, shall we? Why not? A little book haul on a Tuesday afternoon. Thank you in advance to anyone who sent me anything. You guys don't need to do that, and it's just very kind of you to think of me and to remember when my birthday is. Okay, let's see what note we've got. This is from Melissa. Is it really adding to the TBR when you already own book 2? Oh, okay, I know what this is going to be. Happy birthday, Meg. I hope this year treats you kindly. You certainly deserve it. Melissa, you're going to make me cry. But this is one of my lovely mods on my Patreon Discord. Okay, it is what I think. It is Can't Spell Treason Without T by Rebecca Thorne. So I mistakenly own A Pirate's Life for Tea already, which is already on the TBR, which is the second book in this series. I requested it as an ARC without knowing that it was the second book in a series. I'm sorry. Whereas this is the first one. This is a cozy fantasy series that I've heard a lot of good things about. A lot of people have told me that this might be my flavour of cozy fantasy. I believe it might be sapphic. Am I wrong? But yeah, I've heard great things about this series, and now I have 2 of them. Is there any more out? I actually don't know anything about this series, hence why I got the second book before I got the first. Thank you so much, Melissa. That is great. Now I can read a book that's on my TBR. Even though we're adding, technically we're going to take 2 books off with this. If you do the math, I guess.
See, I'm telling you, I have the mind of a I have the mind of a mastermind. What's that? I don't know, but
let's see what's next. From Melinda. Hi, Megan. I wanted to send you a new book for your new house. This book sounds really intriguing. Hope you enjoy it. All the best. Melinda, thank you, friend. What have we got? Okay, this is very exciting. We have got The Names by Florence Knapp. I have heard so many good things about this. So many people, people in real life, in my in-person book club, one of them said this was her favourite book of last year, and so I am very excited about this. This is, I believe, this is the story of a boy who's born, and there's like 3 characters who want to give him different names. I think like his mum, his dad, and maybe his sister, perhaps? And we follow his life with those 3 different names, and the effect that having those different names would have on his life, which I think is such an interesting concept, such a unique concept. I've never heard anything like this. It just sounds like super experimental, super interesting. I'm interested to see how they balance like you remembering what's happening in each timeline with it following the same characters in different circumstances. And I have spoken to people about this who have read it and have been like, well, Megan, I know you don't love split timelines, but I don't think I'm gonna have a problem with this because of the like unique speculative way that it's being used. So thank you so much. That is very exciting. Holy shit, this is a big parcel. I think this is 2 books in it. Okay, these are from Megan. Okay, let's read this one first. I just bought this book and I'm so excited for it. It was recommended to me because I love Nights Out. I would really love, did I say Knights? Knives. I would hope if I could speak. I'd really love to know what you think of it too. I guess we're gonna need more tbr200 installments. You guys are a bad influence. It is, okay, this is The Murder at World's End by Ross Montgomery. I don't know why I said his name. I don't usually say the other name.
I think she was just genuinely excited about fucking everything.
Okay, no, this is very exciting. Okay, This, I will be reading this soon. I've got a video actually. I was gonna probably purchase this book anyway for a video. I'm not gonna spoil it yet, but it's to do with a list. It's to do with an end of year 2025 list. And yes, I'm probably gonna be doing this video in March, but my beginning of year content has been shifted to the first quarter basically of 2026. This is very, very interesting. It's set in Cornwall in 1910. I love a good, guys, not a floor plan. No, I've got to be so serious. I fucking love a floor plan. I fucking love a floor plan. I can't remember this. This is a very interesting premise. We're on a tidal island. Oh yeah, the Viscount is dead in his sealed study, murdered by his own ancestral crossbow. And I think there's some like detectives we're following who are solving it. I just get good vibes from this. I get like, don't ask me why, I get 5-star feeling. I know nothing about this book. I think this is probably a debut. It's something to do with comets. Megan, that is so exciting, thank you. And then what's the next note? Hi Meg, congrats on your new home. I had to get this because you got me hooked on Her Majesty's Royal Coven and wanting to complete your set. Hopefully books 2 and 3 live up to your expectations. Have an amazing 2026. Well, we know what this is going to be. We have got Human Rights by Juno Dawson. Now listen, I haven't read number 2 yet. Shadow Cabinet, but I do, when I think of series I would most like to, oh my god, there's art. There's art on the end pages. That's exciting. When I think of series I would most like to finish or make progress in, it's this series. I loved Her Majesty's Royal Coven. I love anything witchy. I love like found family stories. This has so many of my buzzwords, but I can't read the synopsis at all because I haven't read the second one. But now I must. Now I must speed on up with that. Okay, Megan, thank you so much. That is so kind of you. And then we have 1 parcel left. There we are, I guess, gonna go above 300, but will we go back below 300 in this episode? If that's the case, that's fine. Going above and below in an episode is fine. Is ending an episode on above 300. Oh, there's 2 in here. Will we? I guess it depends on how many books I read. After only having read 2 in a month. Okay, right, let's see the note first. Oh, these are from Esty. That's the same note. Happy birthday. I'm once again here to add books to your TBR. Hope you have an amazing day in your new home. Thank Esty. I wonder how many books Esty has added to the TBR. Oh, okay, this is so exciting. So, we have got this book, Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. I was going to be buying this anyway in like a week. Is it really adding to the TBR if I'm buying it anyway in like a week? I'm gonna be reading this where I read the Goodreads Choice Awards winners. This one, YA fiction? YA romance? I don't know. YA, it's just a YA fiction, don't they? I've never read a Lynn Painter, but I know the girlies who love Lynn Painter fucking love Lynn Painter. So I'm really excited to get into this and see what I think. I don't read a lot of like YA romance anymore, but Lynn Painter's the girl. She's the fucking girl. And then, this is very exciting. I actually think I'm gonna do a vlog with this in it as well that I've got planned. This is The Trial by Rob Rinder. If you're not in the UK, you will not know that Rob Rinder is like a very minor celebrity. He's Judge Rinder. He's our Judge Judy, basically. Our low budget Judge Judy. This is, I think, his debut, The Trial. So it's gonna be like a court, obviously inspired murder mystery. And I think I might do a video because there's a lot out there. I might do a video later in the year. It's still soonish, maybe in the first quarter or in April or something, where I read some celebrity murder mysteries. That is definitely on my docket because there's some that are like super duper well regarded. Obviously, this has been a big thing in the UK with like UK centric, we'll talk about it in the video, but UK centric celebrities because Richard Osman was like a UK celebrity before he wrote the Thursday Murder Club. And then people who think they're in the same kind of stratosphere as Richard Osman go, why don't I write murder mystery? And there's some, like I think this one by Rob Rinder, that are super well regarded, and there's some that are not. And I want to look at the spectrum, and I wonder how many of them actually write them. I wonder whether I can find out if Rob Rinder actually writes this. I guess we'll find out. But thank you so much, Esty. That is so kind. So here is my little birthday. Oh, what a lucky girl I am. Thank you so much, friends. I will do the math on where we start and where we end, and I'm gonna have to try and get below 300.
Does that sound like something you want?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you, you'll never get it.
But wait, I'm going book shopping with a friend later in the week. Okay, let's all just breathe, it's fine. Okay, anyway, I've been yapping for too long. I'm gonna go read some of the Lakehouse. I'll see you in a bit with my thoughts. But Am I gonna not allow myself? I've got to buy books if I go book shopping with a friend. Like, you have to. Anyways. Hello, friends. How are we all doing? I actually had a very interesting day today that I could have, like, and should have vlogged. And what interesting. I had a nice day. I went out the house. I should have vlogged. I should have shown you, like, this is my life. I went to the gym this morning, had a nice PT session, went in the spa, went in the sauna, went in the little cold dip in the outside pool. And then I went for lunch with a friend I've made at my new in-person book club. I've been going for 6 months. My in-person book club. We went for lunch. We went for a little book shopping session. That would have been great to film, wouldn't it? B-roll of, little moment in the life. I filmed a clip of our lunch. That's it. I didn't film anything else. But yeah, we went and did some book shopping, which you may be thinking, Megan, your TBR is already like over 300 right this second. I don't know. I still haven't worked out what it is, but I know it's probably over 300. You should not be going book shopping. Not in a million years should you be going book shopping. I did buy a book. Now, I think I simultaneously managed to buy a book that I have not yet read, that I'm excited to read. But I don't think it adds anything to my TBR.
Delusion. Convince yourself.
My patrons agree with me. Whether they're enablers, I don't know. But I have purchased Agatha Christie Poirot, The Greatest Detective in the World by Mark Aldridge. And what this book is it is a history of the Poirot books, predominantly. At least the first 3/4 of it is structured by each Agatha Christie book. So this one's Death in the Clouds, for example. And it's basically a couple pages on each book. And you have, like, I love numerous sketches showing a meticulously working out the seating plan. Oh my god. Seeing the schedule. Seeing the schedule. This is one that's set on a plane. It's like a murder on the plane. The seating plan on the plane. And you see, like, the pictures of, like, the old copies, the old editions and stuff. And so it sounds fascinating. Now, I think we need some reviews. He doesn't spoil any of the books in this, so I could just read this all in one go, in which case it would have to be added to the TBR. But I think I'm going to treat this as kind of like a reference book, where I think the most fun way to read this is to come back after I've read every Poirot. Like, I'll be able to read, like, the first probably 100-ish pages already based on the Poirots I've already read. But my plan is to come back and read the chapter on each Poirot after I've read them, because it talks about, like, Agatha Christie's experience writing that book, things she said about that book, her life at that point when writing that book, the reception that book had, like the reviews it got at the time. And so I think it would just be more fun to examine that after having read each Poirot. I'm so excited about this. I can't wait to read the first 100 pages of this. But from then on, I think it'll be more of like a reference book. So I'm not adding it to the TBR. Cry about it. But anyways, I am about 100 pages into The Lakehouse by Sarah Beth Durst. Now, this is a YA horror. It opens up, we meet 3 girls who are on their way to this summer camp that they're going to. They turn up, it's very isolated, it's like on a lake. I think it's like a 40-minute boat ride to get to this point. And they turn up there and the cabins are completely burnt. And the woman that they think was supposed to be their camp advisor, they find dead from a gunshot wound. And so they've got these 2 things going on, right? They kind of want to hide because they believe there's a killer on the loose.
You know, I believe in a lot of things, including the killer. You never know who you can meet online. The killer! He's the killer. He's the killer. The killer is everywhere. He sounds like he's the killer. The killer is on the loose!
In the area that they're in, but also they want to try and escape and signal that they're here and they're stuck here and try and get to safety. And that, like, what I've told you happens in the first, like, 20 pages. You dive straight in. But then, I am 2 minds about this. I don't feel like a ton has happened. I feel like it's an enjoyable reading experience, right? Like, I'm not having a bad time reading it. I'm enjoying our characters, our main characters, the kind of little quirks and personality traits that these 3 girls have. It's really a character study of these 3 girls. We're just with these 3 girls. Surely, I feel like there's got to be more people added to the equation at some point, but it's basically just been them. I'm having a nice time reading it. I'm on reading sprint, so that has been getting me through it. But at the same time, I'm not like, I don't think it's doing anything new. I don't think it's doing anything unusual. I don't think it's doing anything unexpected. It's been fairly, like, standard so far. So I don't know where that leaves me on the enjoyment scale. I don't know. I think the writing feels very different from Sarah Beth Durst's The Spell Shop. I feel like maybe she's a bit of a chameleon. Do you ever get that sense about an author where, like, they can write different things. They're a career author, do you know what I mean? They're like really good at writing as their job. It's a job. And they can write anything that's like in demand at the moment, and they can turn their hat to anything. I feel like that's the vibe I'm getting from her, which is interesting. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, but I'm not loving it. But equally, I'm glad I'm finally reading it, because I've had this since 2023, and it would have stayed on my TBR probably early 2023. I got an arc of this, maybe even 2022 I've owned this since. So I'm glad to be reading it. This is probably my level right now of thoughts. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. I feel like the story, something needs to happen now, right? Like it needs to go somewhere. There needs to be a shift in order for the rest of the book to be interesting. So I'll let you know my thoughts when I've either read a bit more, if I have more to say, or finished it. We'll see when I have stuff to say. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Hello. I thought we'd come sit with Dida because we were just cuddling as I finished the book. She's like half asleep. Her little eyes keep rolling back. Hi. Do we love each other? Should we hold hands? Okay, we can hold hands. I love her so much. Okay, yeah, I finished the goddamn book. I finished the Lakehouse. I'm gonna give this a 3.5. Here's the thing, I think my enjoyment probably is a 3, if we're honest with ourselves. But I think I'm giving it that extra half because I think a lot of it is my fault, right? It's my fault. Reading slowly, watching too much X-Files in the evening rather than reading. Not being fully back in the reading headspace. Like, I think this is a pretty passable, probably one of the better, like, YA horror books that I have read. I think it has a great setting, isolated on this island. I think the friendships and the individual characters, you basically spend it with these 3 main girls, and the friendships that they build with each other, and they each have their own struggles, they each have their own difficulties with their parents, with themselves, with their identity, with things that they're struggling with. You know, one has very bad like panic attacks and anxiety and worrying, and I think the exploration of that was handled in a way that I haven't necessarily seen. As someone who is a very bad worrier, anxiety, I fear I need to go get some therapy. Like, I think it's like, you know, reading that was very like healing and interesting to me. And I think it has some really good interesting twists and turns. I'm not sure it quite sticks the landing. It goes a certain direction for the ending. It veers off into like almost a different category of thing that you do see quite a lot in horror. I don't want to spoil anything, but like, I'm not sure it quite sticks that, because like the rest of the book is not that tone, and then it switches to that tone. I'm not sure it quite backs itself fully, you know what I mean? And like, it did take me probably, I don't know how many days, like 10 days. It took me a long time. It took me a long time to read, and that is my problem. We're gonna read one more book of this vlog, and I need to read it today and tomorrow. Like, I need to start reading quicker and more, a little bit more. Like, listen, I'm still living life. I've been going to the gym a lot. One day I will vlog like my life and going to the gym, but I fear I'm not confident enough to do that yet. I'm barely confident enough to use the equipment. I had to like set up my hip thrusts on the, is it Smith machine? I don't know what it is. The rack that like racks itself. I had to set that up, and I was so worried people were judging me, and I was so nervous. Anyways. Yeah, I've been going to the gym a lot. I've hurt my neck. I spoke about that on the Anticipated Releases video. I had to go to my osteopath for a massage on that, and that's helped, if you want a little update. But yeah, fine book. However, this does raise a question. For the rest of the year, this is something we need to consider with the TBR and with tbr200. Like, I think I probably could have predicted this was going to be 3.5. I think I knew, right, in my heart of hearts, that this would not get anything higher than 3.5, right? A YA horror that's languished on my TBR for a long time, that like I got an arc of and I still haven't read. I probably knew this was going to be a 3.5, and thus, I think there's more books on the TBR like that, and thus, should I unhaul them? I want to say no. I want to give everything a chance at least, but the thing is with a 3.5 like this, I'm not going to DNF it. It's not bad enough to DNF. There are good points about this book that make me want to carry on reading it. But do I want to be reading a lot of 3.5s? No. Do I think I have a lot of 3.5s on my TBR I need to get rid of? Probably. So it just raises a question. I don't think I'm ready to answer that. Yeah. I don't think I'm ready to confront that, but I just want to put it out into the ether that I am recognizing that that's a bit of a problem that is occurring. So anyways, book down. I want to talk about a few things quickly before we go get our next book. Actually, I want to show you something quick. My lovely mortgage advisor, Sonia, and her team sent me and Tom like a little, what are these called? Photo frame. How cute is that? And I just wanted to say, like, obviously this is not spawn, like, Sonia doesn't know that I'm saying this, but if you're in the UK and you're looking for a mortgage advisor, Sonia at the Mortgage Atelier, best mortgage advisor you're ever gonna meet. Incredible. Sonia, I have been speaking to Sonia about like the process of getting a mortgage as a self-employed person for probably like 4 or 5 years since I first contacted her. She held our hand throughout the entire process. Like even things that she didn't need to help us with, she helped us with. She gave us all the answers to our questions about how everything worked. Like she was the person who made the whole experience okay. So if anywhere in the UK, I think she's like, we did everything via Zoom. If you're looking to get a mortgage or like remortgage, reach out to Sonia. She's incredible. Look how cute. I need to fill this with something. Then we have to accept we're going to end over 300 on the TBR at the end of this episode, okay? I've barely been reading and books have come in. It was my birthday. What you gonna do?
I don't want to hear any goddamn excuses anymore.
So I bought some books. Don't panic. 3 of these. The reason I'm not showing you them. Are you alright? She's going, are you hiding from me? You're hiding from the camera? Okay, she's actually gone on the parcel. I need to show you in a sec. These 2 we're not adding to the TBR because I'm about to read them in a big themed reading vlog. And when I have to get my hands on books for a themed vlog, and I know I'm doing the vlog in like 2 weeks, I don't add them to the TBR. Sue me, but I think it would get too complicated if I did that. So those 3 you'll have to see another time. But a book that I do need to read soon is The Love of My Afterlife by Kirsty Greenwood. This is for my in-person book club. And I have been to this in-person book club since maybe like June or July of last year. I'm yet to finish a book on time for the in-person book club. And I go most weeks. I either don't read the book, have already read the book and don't reread it for the book club, or read the book and don't finish it in time for the book club. So I'm determined that this month, February, is not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. So it's super interesting. I think she dies and meets someone in the afterlife that she falls in love with, and she's giving like the challenge of 10 days to find him and make him fall in love with her. I think to maybe get the chance to live again. I don't know. I'm super excited about it. It sounds interesting. It sounds fun. So add that to the TBR, and then I'm so sorry, baby. I can't show you because it's got my address on it. I'm gonna need that. I'm so sorry. Okay, it's gone. Say goodbye. Love you. Someone bought me something. So let's just open this quickly, shall we? Oh God, someone was kind. Let's see the note. Oh, it's from Megan. Megan, you just sent me something for my birthday. Thank you for bringing such fun and joy to every video you make, which brings all of us so much happiness. Megan, you are such a wonderful human being. Oh my God, I love Travis Bowdry because he's so fun reading this. Oh. Okay, Megan, here's the thing. I almost bought this when I went book shopping the other day with my friend. When I bought the Poirot book, like I almost picked, this was the second choice. But I was like, oh, I can't add to the TBR. Well, it's almost like the universe decided. This is Brigands and Bread Knives by Travis Bowdry, the 3rd in the Legends on Latte series. If I was to have bought anything recently, this would have been it. I want to read this so bad. Oh my God, I might read this soon. What if I just read this straight away? I'm tempted. I've got a video coming up where I have control a little bit over what I read. And I know in the vlog, I don't actually know how many vlogs, it's like a time specific vlog. So I think I'm gonna read this, and I think I'm gonna read a book for my patron book club. But then if I have time, maybe I'll chuck this in as well. Wouldn't that be crazy? I kind of just wanna read it straight away. Thank you so much, Megan. Okay, that's everything I think I need to tell you about. Let's go find out what our second book of this vlog is gonna be. Anything to say, Queen? Oh. Hey. You got your small eyes on today. It's the small eyes, not the big eyes. Love you. Okay, hello. I'm sitting in front of the boxes here where they're stacked up because I have a neck injury and I'm home alone and I don't want to pull out. How many is there? 3 times 4. That's 12. 12 boxes full of books. I want to get them all out and then put them back all in again to get one book out. So we're here. Hello. I don't know if the camera's a bit crooked, but it is what it is. Okay, we have 1 book left in this vlog. That's what I've got the time for. Here's the sitch. I want an iconic book. I feel like that book was not iconic enough. Like, we've had a book that had been languishing on the TBR. It's good to get it off the TBR. That's a good vibe to have. Now I want a book I'm anticipating. Now I want a book that I have been looking forward to. So no pressure. No pressure. But I don't want anything that's intimidating. I don't want anything that's difficult to read. I'm still not at that stage yet. Maybe in like a week or two. I still need like easy to read. So I guess I'm just gonna take this box that's here because I'm not unboxing them all. Okay, everyone, wish me luck. Oh, hello. You heard me with the boxes. She's like, what are you doing to my slumber spot? She's mad. Are you okay? It's okay. Okay, right, I'm just gonna reach in and grab something. Okay. They're hardbacks, right? And so I think hardbacks feel bigger than they actually are. Like, I've got no judgment of how big something actually is. Oh. Hi, what am I doing? Do you think I've got a book in my hand? Do you think it's a good one? Dita, is this book good? I'm gonna show it to you. What do you think? What do you think? Good? Look at what it is yet. Okay, let's see. Okay, no, this is a sleigh. We have got, oh my god, yes. Okay.
Yes! Yes!
This is perfect. Dita, you chose well, babe. We have got The Once and Future Sex, Going Medieval on Women's Roles in Society by Eleanor Janiger. Non-fiction, which I'm happy about. Have I read more? I haven't read a non-fiction yet this year, and I would like to read more non-fiction, and this is one of my like probably top 5 non-fiction that's on my TBR. This, Jane Austen's Bookshelf, but there's probably one or two. Jane Austen at Home. There's a few Jane Austen ones I really want to read. But this, I have wanted to read for so long. And it's not super long. It's about 200 pages. Now, here's the thing. Non-fiction, you may be thinking that's not... Don't climb into... Okay, she's climbing into the box. You may be thinking that's not easy peasy beautiful cover girl. But I feel like it will be accessible. I feel like it will be. Something in me tells me that it won't be, like, scary non-fiction. So I'm really happy with that. Dita! And I'm happy that this vlog has got me reading non-fiction because I want to read more non-fiction. Okay, I guess I probably want to get the audiobook for this because I wonder if Eleanor Janiger narrates it. She's, like, quite a well-known historian who does like a lot of like historian media as well. So I'm gonna find the audiobook for this, and I'm very, this feels like it could be iconic. This feels like this is probably like a 5-star prediction for me because I love women. I love non-fiction about women, and it's gonna be so fascinating. Okay. Hello. I'm sitting amongst all the boxes, as you can see, because we've just been taking the thumbnail for the video, so I thought I'd film here. But I am about halfway through The Once and Future Sex by Eleanor Janiger. I'm having a great time. So this is basically non-fiction about how women were perceived in medieval society. And the chapters that we've had so far, I'm on chapter 3. Back to Basics was, I think, like, mainly about how medieval society was very informed by, like, ancient Greek thought. So, like, Plato, Aristotle, and kind of giving us the basics of their thoughts, where they got their thoughts from, you know, how inspired they were by religion and different things. Then we had a chapter on beauty expectations, and now I'm on a chapter about sex and love and the kind of perceptions around that. And it's so interesting because women were perceived as being the much more sexual gender, like being obsessed with sex, and how men had this pressure to please their wife so that she wouldn't cheat on them, but also like the perception that once a man has orgasmed, like the woman shouldn't want to have sex anymore because the kind of purpose of having sex, aka procreation, has happened. So there's just all these different thoughts and opinions, and it's so fascinating. I'm really enjoying it. It's really well written. It's really digestibly written, right? I think this isn't a non-fiction you should be intimidated of. This is a really accessible non-fiction. It feels like I've mainly been listening to the audiobook. I've been listening to it very slowly. I've been listening on like 1.25 speed, which for me is so slow, and reading it 2, which is usually my like listening speed, is 1.8. So I've been reading it very slowly, but it feels like I'm listening to a really good podcast, like a really informative podcast that has some humor to it at times, but has so much information that it's giving us sometimes like a non-fiction like this that is giving you lots and lots of information. Just every paragraph is like a new fact, a new angle, can sometimes feel a bit like exhausting or overwhelming kind of thing, but this doesn't. It feels just super readable. So I'm having a great time reading it. I don't know if it feels like it's a 5-star. It probably feels like a very strong 4 to me right now. But I'm gonna finish it today. I'm gonna get my reading done and finish it today. So I'll let you know my thoughts when I finished it, but I'm very happy that this was pulled out of the box. This is like one of the books I could have hoped for most to be pulled out. Hello, I don't want you to look too closely at what's behind me because I haven't shown this room yet because I'm doing like a makeover video for it, but Tom's friend is downstairs, so I can't film downstairs, but just don't look. I've purposely chosen an angle where you can't really see anything. But hello, it's like a horrible day, so I've just been reading Once Future Sex and I have finished it and I really enjoyed this. I'm gonna give it 4 stars like I thought I would, but yeah, I would really recommend this to a lot of you. I think it's something, well, if you like nonfiction like what I like, women, history, this is women X history, you know what I mean? This is everything that I want from a nonfiction.
Women's stories matter. Yeah. Right. They just matter.
Yeah.
Usually my nonfiction is leaning either women or historical or both. Usually both. That's my favourite kind of nonfiction. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Really, she is unpacking in this how everything is a construct. Gender is a construct, tear it apart. everything is a construct. Everything that they believed then is a construct, but the last chapter really brings it home that everything we believe now is a construct. Like, nothing's real. Nothing's like, all of our belief systems about what is and isn't okay for women to like have an attitude towards sex, what kind of attitude is okay for them to have, what kind of attitude is not okay for them to have, how low a body count is okay, how high a body count is okay, whatever. Everything that we believe about who we should be, like the kind of people we should be, society, like the tick boxes that society tells women they need to reach, it's all a construct. It's all made up, babe. You know, so at the end of the day, you just gotta do what makes you happy. I really enjoyed this. I found it fascinating. I feel like I really like in my women history nonfiction to hear about specific women's stories. And like, I love the Forgotten Women series that those of you who have been around here a long time will remember me reading. And I understand with the time, you know, the time period, it's a bit more difficult to do that because not a lot of people were like writing about women or like, it's only the kind of noble women we know a lot about, like peasant, there's no records of really of like peasant women who are just like day in, day out doing the hard graft. Like we have drawings that they're in, but in terms of individual, we don't know their stories. But I feel like that could have been what took it to the 5-star for me, because the moments where we did learn about women, specific stories, were the high points for me, because I like being able to put like a historical context to an individual rather than just like, this is the overall, you know, opinion. You know what I mean? But yeah, I would really recommend you guys pick this up. I think it was fascinating. Her writing was wonderful. Like I say, it has humor, it has these funny moments, it's so accessible, so easy to read. I'll probably read anything that she puts out in the future. I really enjoyed just the writing style to come at this angle from nonfiction. So yeah, I mean, it's a fairly easy read. I read it slowly. I read it a lot slower than I usually would, like a 200-page book. But I felt like that really meant that I could take it in. And there was just so much to learn, so many myths that she unpacked. Like, they loved having baths. Medieval people loved baths. And you think, oh, they didn't wash. You know what I mean? Just little things. She really unpacked the myths of that. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'd really recommend it. That brings this vlog to a close. I know I promised you we were going to talk about X-Files. I realize I haven't. I'm not doing it at the end of the video. X-Files is too important to me. I'll talk about you to I'll talk to you about X-Files in the next vlog. I'm not doing it now. I fucking love the X-Files, but I need to have a chat because I've got no one to chat about it to apart from Tom. But yeah, what does that bring us to on the TBR? I don't know. Again, I'll put it behind me. Is it 302? 301? Something like that. We are above 300. Yeah. I'm not even gonna like acknowledge and make a big deal out of it, because how many times has this happened? We've gone below 300 and above. I feel like this is the 3rd or 4th time that has happened. But we'll get it below 300 in the next vlog. I know we will. It's because I read 2 books in January. Okay? But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little vlog with only two books. We're going to be ramping up how big the vlogs are from now on. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you soon in another one. Bye!